Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how to solve a statistical case using Microsoft Excel. As we can see here, I already set a raw data which contains student motivation strategies for learning school, and in total there are 65 data values, and from this data we need to several statistical measurements such as measure of central tendency and measures of variability, and I also create frequency polygon. So, the first step is to organize data. First, I copy the data, and then I sort to small value to the large value. And after sorting the data, I go to the data tab and choose remove duplicate, so that only unique values remain. Now, the numbers I already simplified. Okay, now let's move these unique values to the score column in the table. And here I also add the sum formula to find the total. The first step, you should click sum and then block all the number in the score and then enter, and then you will find this. Okay, next let's move to frequency. To find frequency, you can use formula countif and then click all the number in column A and then click the first row on the score in column D, and then you just click enter. Same as before, I also add the sum formula to find the total. Alright, the next step is calculating score multiplied by frequency or XF. I simply multiply the score value by its corresponding in the frequency, and then you just click enter, and then you'll find this. And I think the sum is not correct, and I also add the formula same as before. Alright, now we move to the score minus mean column. But however, before calculating this value, we first need to determine the mean. The mean is the average value of the dataset. We can calculate the mean by dividing the total fx by the total frequency. Alright, after obtaining the mean value, we can calculate score minus mean by subtracting the mean from each score. In this formula, we must add dollar symbol to lock the cell of the mean value so that the reference does not change when the drag formula. And you don't forget to total x minus mean with the formula sum. Alright, let's move to the x minus mean. First, you click equal and click the first row in x minus mean. After that, add the power of 2 square of the value and press enter, and Excel will show you the square result. And don't forget to total x minus mean square with the formula I'll remind you again, sum, and then block all the number on x minus mean square, and then you just click enter. Now we had to search for frequency times x minus mean square. The first step is type equal again, and then click first frequency times x minus mean square, and then enter. And I remind you again and again, you should total fx mean square with the sum formula, and then block all the number, and then you just click enter. Now we continue with the measure of central tendency. First, we determine the median, which is the middle value of the dataset. Since the total frequency is 65, which is an odd number, we can find the position of median using the formula equal and then type 65 plus 1 and then divided by 2. Alright, the results show that median position is 33, and then we should check the cumulative frequency column to find where the 33 data value lies. From the table, the median value is 137. Next, we determine the mode. The mode is the value that appears most frequently in dataset. By looking at the frequency column, we can see that score 132 has the highest frequency, which means 132 is the mode. After that, we calculate the range, which is the difference between the maximum score and then the minimum score. After click minimum and maximum, you just click enter. Now we move to the quartiles. To find the first quartiles, or Q1, we can use formula 1/4 x the total of frequency plus 1, and then enter. And then the result is 16.5, which that means the value lies between two data positions. And therefore, we take the average of two scores in that position and divide it by 2. For second quartiles, or Q2, we use half with the total frequency plus 1, and then enter to find the result, which give value 33. This corresponds to the same position as the median. And then for the third quartile, or Q3, we use 3/4, and then the total of the frequency plus 1, and then enter to find the result. By checking the cumulative frequency column, we can find the score corresponding on this position. After obtaining Q1 and Q3, we can calculate the interquartile, or EQR, by subtracting Q1 from Q3. Okay, next we calculate the variance using the formula sum of fx minus mean quartile divided by total of frequency, and then minus 1. And finally, we determine the standard deviation, which is the square roots of the variance. And this value shows how much the data typically divides from the mean. After click the square, you click half, and then enter. And you'll find the standard deviation. And finally, you'll find the last step. The last step is creating frequency polygon, and to do this, we just select score and frequency column, and then go to the insert tab and choose recommended chart, and then select the first chart option. And then Excel will automatically generate the graph. Now the polygon show the distribution of the score visually. So in this analysis, we have successfully calculated the measure of central tendency and measure of variability. And also we can create a frequency polygon using Excel. And maybe that's the end of my explanation, and thank you for watching.